In this video of the Bezi 101 series, we'll be looking at behaviors. These object properties allow you to create dynamic interactions that react to the changes in a scene or to the position of the user. If you haven't done so, we recommend watching the state machine video, as it provides the fundamentals that will help make behaviors more powerful. You can add a behavior to any item, whether it's an individual object or a group in your scene. The goal of this interaction is to have this group follow another object in this scene. Let's add a behavior to this group. You can do this by selecting it and then adding a new behavior in the Properties panel. By default, the follow behavior has been added. To remove a behavior, press the minus button. Let's start programming our follow behavior by adding a target to our group. Here, a human object will be our target. Click the Select Target icon, then click on your target in either the canvas or in the hierarchy panel to configure the behavior. Now let's preview your behavior. Press the play button to see what it looks like. Let's move the targeted human to see what the behavior does. To stop the behavior preview, press the stop button. Note that this is only a preview button and it's not stateful. If you've built a more complex scene with multiple behaviors, you can go to the command center and type play all behaviors to preview them all at the same time. By default, a behavior gets an object to follow your target on the X, Y, and Z axes with a -1 meter offset from the Z axis. You can limit the behavior's movement by unclicking the axis toggles and also preventing a target's rotation from affecting its position by setting that parameter. Below that is the position of the behavior affected object in relation to the target. If you need it to be closer or farther, play around with these parameters. Over here is the smoothness of the animation. This property dictates how fast this behavior should move the object in relation to the target. By default, it's set to 10. If you need it to move 1-to-1 with no smoothness, set it to 0. If you need much slower animation, you can set it all the way up to 100. Let's add a look at behavior to this group. I want it to look at a different human target. Press the plus button on top, and then in the drop-down, select Look At. Then choose your target. If your object doesn't quite point to your target, change what side of the object should face the target. If you need to limit the follow behavior so that it only tilts in one axis, you can do so here. You can add and stack as many behaviors as you like. I'll add another follow behavior so that this group will follow two different objects at the same time. If you want to see what the object's behavior looks like without a certain one activated without deleting it, you can turn it off. Note that turning off or on a behavior is also stateful. Additionally, nested groups or objects can have behaviors added to them to create even more layered and complex interaction designs. Here's an example of a nested behavior acting independently to the parent group. Now that you have a solid understanding of the power of behaviors, let's use the state machine to change an object's behavior with an interaction. I want this arrow to change who it follows and looks at after pressing a button. To do this, let's add a new state to the object with a behavior. In this state, we'll change the follow target and the look at target. Let's change between states to see what it does. Now let's change the transition event trigger to this button, and then get it to go back when I press the button again. Let's preview using play mode to see if everything works. Great. This is only a taste of what you can do using the follow and look at behaviors. By using your creativity, you can create complex, layered behavior interactions that take these concepts even further. But that's not all. Paired with other powerful 3D interaction design features like colliders and a body rig, you can create projects that react to users without their direct input. We'll learn that and more later in the Bezi 101 series. We'll see you there.